The question is this. Since my abduction that took place in 1989, and I could have become a prophet, but my criminal background was the twisted story. I'm now nearly 60 this year. And if you could grab hold of my medical record, you'll see how my illnesses started, because one of the factors of this prophecy was you get to know what makes you sick. You get to know what makes you ill. Back in, I think it was 1992, didn't have a health problem. Didn't have a mental health problem. I didn't have any problems at all. Yeah, but me and my girl was going through a bus stop and I had to go to prison for a driving offence. Driving was disqualified, one out of them two, because my criminal record will come in useful to corroborate the story. And this is what it was. Yeah, it turned out I ended up getting stabbed. And even that was prophesized from my jail sentence, because some entity walked in and, I was reading a book. It's about telepathy and metaphysics and all the rest of it, made by Julian May, by the way, who died in 2017 when I was released from prison. Okay? And it's about telepathy and all the rest of it and blah, 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 blah. Lucifer's name comes up into it. And the book is called The Many-Colored Land, the book of the exiles. Exiled and banished from heaven. It was not something that I really took any notice of. Even when I read the book, I must have come across Lucifer's name and I couldn't even remember it. Okay? So, anyway, 1992 now is come. Right? I've already been stabbed and rejected by the council. The council says, look, after your stitches are removed, you got to leave the squat that you're in. Let me tell you now, the year is 2025. Okay? And they still done it again. Rejected you from the building. I've been rejected from those buildings, or for one reason or another, about 3 or 4 times. None of them to do with drug abuse or alcohol abuse, nothing. Maybe just because of driving offence or some misdemeanor. But anyway, the truth is this. I've gone full circle, and look how old I am now. And I look around and they ask me, don't you feel sorry for them? How can I feel sorry for some people that are pre-programmed? Because a prophecy is literally a preset of events. Even if it's audio or literally, war or anything else, it's still a prophecy. And yes, in a way I can turn around and say I feel sorry for them, but the mass hysteria that they survived after the pandemic in 2020, that's a global illness, a global plague, a sickness that hits everybody on the planet for some reason. We knew that was going to happen. Okay, and here I am being demoted to some guy sitting in some girl's car, who's had her fulfillment of life. Yeah, I haven't got anything that I can remember that you could turn around and say it was long term. Yeah, the longest I've ever kept anything must be about 2-3 years. These people had their things going on for 40 years. I know people still living in their apartments right now. Got nowhere in life, but they still live where they're living. And look at me. Because they wanted to lie about it. And do I feel sorry for them? In a way I do. Why? Because it didn't matter. Prime ministers came, prime ministers went, and the whole shebang kept on going. And all they did is make new laws, which are like new tools for computers, and talk about, we need to do this, we need to do that. And now they want me to turn around and say, yeah, all right, I'll give up. You know how many people's lost their lives since then? And they say, that's just the way things are. I'm thinking like, yeah, but not a predictable one. I got to find out, like, some entity asked me, how would you like me to give you cancer? And then they ended up with scarring of the lung, but I feel kind of healthy. You know? I'm not a hard drug abuser. I'm just getting old. And even in old age, you got youngsters now laughing. Like, they're never going to get old. Or everything for them is so reassured that there's nothing for them to worry about. Now, that's a lie. And everybody knows it. And the worst thing is, I've got all the footage and everything, the paperwork and all the rest of it, that says they're liars. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for myself? No, I can't feel sorry for myself no matter how much the hardship. Because I know there's always someone in a worse situation than me. I still got me here. There's always someone out there worse off than me. You know, their minds are, you know, like the adverts where you got the little lips on that speaking to them and they feed their brains. Yeah? Well, nothing's feeding their brains with a result of how to get themselves out of a tight situation. And on top of it, the system itself is making that situation even worse. So do I feel sorry for them? Yeah. But one thing I don't feel sorry for is for myself. Why? Because I ain't got no children that I can feel sorry for. You know, whether they done well or whether they're not doing well, I have no idea. And that's the reason why I don't have to feel sorry for myself. And that's the situation. This not what expect me to go around with thinking that I'll shag anything just to have children and feel like I'm blessed. Blessed with what? Another empty soul, innocent soul, prepared to be filled with their memories? Because it's not going to be mine. Look at how old I am. They might just get a photograph of me, but never know what the character of the person was like. And that bun them to the point they're hating me. But that's life. Now, everybody gets a chance to fulfill long-term relationships or long-term things out of a relationship like children. Okay? That's my story. Look at my medical record. You wasn't sick before 1992. As soon as I get there at my first apartment after my stabbing, because I had to go through 4 women as a request, biblically supplications, if you like. And they're just transparent enough to say, you know what? You don't have to try anything. You don't have to go out of your way to attempt to woo a woman or, you know, or have a woman feel like, you know, I'm beguiled by this man, I need to have his baby. They just showed it wasn't damn worth it. Okay? All the opportunities missed. You can't wind back the clock for a human being. That does never, ever, ever, ever happen. So once all those moments are lost, you get to an age like this, you feel sorry for them, not yourself, because them and their children's got to face what we call the rat race of life. No matter how modern technology gets, which is kind of good because I don't have to sit in front of a cinematic camera and run out of tape. Okay? Can't even tell what 72 hours are and when it applies to when, yeah? But I've had to record it using the phone that's giving me light at the moment, using the software that modern day people have now called Gemini. Yeah, it's an artificial intelligence. And even that says that. Yeah, you have to deal with your demons and they just want to make life all the more difficult because man have these technologies. You know what? Not a problem. But I don't feel sorry for myself. I feel sorry for them because that's their future. Back in my day, None of it existed. You could just about have a party line on your phone where you're picking it up and hearing other people talking because they're using the same phone line you were using because it wasn't that big or you know, or independent as it is with this device right now. So, yeah, I'm not fantasizing about it. It's either it's real or it's not. You have a child, blah, blah, blah. How you go about it is your business. But the way they want to do it with me, nah. So this goes with my other video, because I'm still going to try and get myself out of this car and get myself into an apartment. But they keep moving the goalposts. And the further along you keep moving the goalposts, you still never get to score. Okay? So there's no real winners in this world. Not human ones, anyway. They just help things move along. Because none of them keep whatever they have forever. Apart from the legacy of doing it.